example that's not here. All right, I am recording. So, what is the market looking like? This is something, by the way, I'm doing on a weekly basis for myself. I'm going through the market. I'm going through like a short. I'm doing this for 45 minutes or so. I'm analyzing what's going on, what's happening, what can I expect in the market, what kind of news is happening. So directly today, when I entered the investing.com. I usually go to both of them, investing.com and Forex Factory. So I went to investing.com and I pressed directly this week. Then I saw what's going to happen the upcoming week. We have no news on Monday, and the rest of the week there was CPI news, and it's FOMC week. So we have some news on Wednesday, on Tuesday, and the market, the Germany has a Labor Day on Friday, so the DAX might be open, but it's not uh, as volatile as it used to be because it's Labor Day in Germany. But the Nasdaq is still open. So when I did this, the thing I missed right here that I found on the Forest Factory is that President Trump is speaking. So that's why I jumped from the Forest Factory and the investing.com. Feel free to use which one you want. I like investing.com because it looks cleaner. So today, the US President Trump speaks at 4:45 um, at night. So this might affect the market. So not sure what's going to happen to tomorrow on Monday. Um, yeah. Anyhow, that's the news that's going to happen this week. So just a short overview of the market. This is what I'm doing on the long term, on the daily. So regarding the MTP system, I've done some long term investing. This is my second entry on the US 500, and this is my third entry on the Nasdaq that I did. This is for long term investing, and let's see, something that's going really good is the which one is it? It's the Nasdaq Singapore. I'm not trading these, by the way, on CFDs. I'm trading these on futures because I live in Europe. I use interactive brokers. So interactive brokers is something that I use for long-term investing because I'm trading futures there and I'm buying contracts. Just to let you know, if you do long-term investing with, like we are using the broker VT markets or IC markets, these are CFD brokers. CFD brokers for long-term investment and not swing trading, like you enter a position and just leave it for weeks or months. The profits, sorry, the fees and commissions that the CFD brokers take just eat through your profits. So just don't let me forget to say that. To keep that in mind. If you're trading for long-term investing, feel free to use futures because that it's better for your for the fees and commission. All right, and Google is one of the stocks that I'm invested in, and we're probably in break even right now if I move the stop loss to break even, but I'm not going to do it. This is the first breakout buy that I'm in. So, what do we have more? School community updates. How to unlock level two. So, I'm seeing a lot of questions regarding how to unlock level two because if you're not at level two, let me see. This is what it looks like for the members. They are locked. The classes are locked, and rest of the sessions are open. So there are still people asking for how to unlock level two, and I've seen some of you helping them out to write a post or something so they can level up. That's a good thing. So I'm going to keep repeating it over and over again how to unlock level two because there are new people coming into the community and we are growing. We're growing very quickly. Um, I'm I'm also hiring some editors to help me out with the videos, and some of you inside of the community have recommended softwares that I use to help AI help me edit the videos. But if some of you edit videos and have some, you don't need to be a perfect editor. but has some basic editing skills, feel free to reach out. Maybe we can do something. Um, all right, how to search inside of the community. So this is a basic search engine bar right here. So if you search for, let's see, overnight range, you can see that there are people talking about the overnight range inside of the community. So you can feel free to check here instead of asking in the private DMs and the private messages. So it will simplify it for you if you want to do that, basically. All right, next to your name. I just realized I just got a fire next to my name, and I didn't know what this was. So when I pressed on it, the fire means that 30-day streak of 10 plus activities per day. This means this whole school community, school website is built on gamification. That's how you level up. That's how you they almost want you to be active more inside of the community or inside of school so you can get more points. So the way I got the fire is by being active basically every day for more than 10 activities a day. Um, so if you want to get the fire emoji, feel free to be active and write 10 posts or like 10 posts or do something like 10 activities per day and you will get the fire emoji next to your name. That's a cool thing to have. I didn't know this. But yeah, that's one thing. All right, the live trading room. The live trading room, when you update your membership to the, let's see here. Let me show you. So if I come in here, view as member. If I view as member, if I have the standard membership inside of the community, the live trading room sessions are posted inside of the calendar. When I'm trying to press on it, I need to update or unlock premium. To unlock premium, I press here and I update for $49 a month to premium. This is only to the 27th of April. After that, it bumps up, basically doubles the price to $99 a month for all the members coming in after that. So this price is only for the founding members. And what will happen in the London live trading sessions? I will be sharing my trading view screen and I will sit next to you, basically like I'm doing right now in the live trading sessions. And I'm going through discussing what I'm seeing in the market and the trades that I'm gonna take inside of the market and why I'm gonna take them and why I'm gonna put my stop loss there and why I'm putting my take profits there. There are a bunch of videos inside of the classroom explaining why I'm doing those things, but it's a different way to see it in a live version. Some of us just need to see it and somebody doing it in front of us to believe that this is all true. And some of us have reached that level of seeing it because we've done it, right? So I want you to see this live trading room as a personal trainer. When you go to the gym and you want to lose weight and you want to get in shape, you hire a personal trainer, right? So when you hire a a personal trainer is supposed to work their way out of your life because they want to give you basically the fundamentals on how to do it by yourself, so you don't need the personal trainer for the rest of your life. Because I don't know how long I'm gonna do this live trading room sessions. So my goal here is to give you as much as possible, and then you can go ahead and really make your own dollars for yourself, generate your own income for yourself, and not relying on me, because that's the last thing I want to people to rely on me um, for their income. So I wanna maybe break some limiting beliefs that you might have, um, that it's possible. All right, that's short about the live trading room. The live trading room, by the way, London session opens up at 9 o'clock my time, GMT plus 2. So I will be entering the live trading rooms for the guys that updated to premium 15 minutes before the London session opens and 15 minutes before the New York session opens. So the time the New York session opens at your time, I will be entering the live calls or a live trading room 15 minutes before. Um, and the calendar, it says 8:30, right? And then this is my time zone. And then it says 3 o'clock. It's because they didn't have 15 minutes. They didn't have 8:45 or 3:50. Just to make that clear, to not create any confusion of why isn't Mustafa inside 8:30, right? All right, let's jump into the Q&As. If you have some questions right now, feel free to ask them and I'll jump right into them. Some last questions from last week, by the way. Let's see here. Uh, can you use fair value gap anytime or is it best to use within 90 minutes of trade opening? Trade opening time? Market opening time, I assume you mean? You can basically use it's a hard question to answer. You can use fair value gaps anytime, as long as they are not take been taken out before. So the question is, let me read the question again. Can you use fair value gaps anytime, or is it best to use within 90 minutes of trade opening time? So you can use this is what time frame do you mean? That's my question back to you. So if it's on a 1 hour time frame, let's go to the let's see here if we can find an example. Right? So if it's on a higher time frame and the market just opened, see there, the market just opened right here at 9 o'clock, and I just came to the market right here. Can I use these fair value gaps to indicate where the market is going? Of course, because they are higher time frame um, fair value gaps, right? I'm not taking a trade directly off of them, but I'm using them as indicators of where the market is going, that the market might reverse from. So if it's 90 minutes or, as you said, where is it? 90 minutes of trade opening, it really doesn't matter. As long as they're not being they're not the market has not reacted from them. There's still a gap, there's still a void. So see this scenario, right? There was a fair value gap at 7 o'clock and the market did not take it out until 3 hours after that, right? But ideally, when we take the 1 minute model, we want to take the fair value gap closest to the, let me see if I can find something here. Closest to the liquidity sweep or the breakup structure. Let me find a document here for you so I can make it more clear. Here we go. I hope you can see my screen. Yes, you do. All right, so this is what the 1 minute model. This is A plus setup. This is the old document I've used and screenshots the trades that I think fit this model perfectly. So there's a liquidity sweep right here, right? If you see it, there's a liquidity sweep. You can't really see it, but there's a liquidity sweep. There's a breakup structure. There's a fair value gap. So we want to take these fair value gaps that is closest to the breakup structure and the liquidity sweep. We don't want to wait for it to go like 15 minutes or 20 minutes and then it respects the fair value gap and then we enter the trade again. That's not really a good setup right there. Um, like this scenario right here. Do you see? Did a breakup structure, did a fair value gap, it reacted to the fair value gap right here. It didn't touch the 50% mark of the fair value gap, but it waited and then it respected the fair value gap area and continued to the upside. All right. Uh, Ismail Usman, alternative to VT markets in the US, forex.com. because VT markets is not allowed in the US. I assume you've already tried it, but VT markets in the US is not being you can't use it. So forex.com. Let me send it to you. Foundations, broker. I wrote right here, US based only. VT markets are not allowed in the US. Forex.com works fine. You can just use this one. Let me send it to you. What about uploading the templates? It's fine. You can upload the templates that you're using the same as long as it's MT5. As long as it's MT5, you can just upload the templates. That's fine. And also the position size calculator. That works fine. Anytime. All right. Let's see here. Next question. Yuhurul Ismail. I've answered these. What is the best process for entering trades on a particular sign or pattern to look for, and which time zone? I recommend Mahi that you go through the course, basically just step by step, video by video, and you will get a strategy and a process and a checklist on how you can find entries in the market, basically. I answered this before. What would the overnight range be when trading the London session? So when trading the London session, the overnight range is midnight. This is from my time zone, GMT plus 2. It's from midnight to the high or the low created at 7 or 8 o'clock, between 7 and 8 o'clock. So this is the overnight range. I'm gonna close this, leave, and then we see that there's a 9 o'clock. So this is the overnight range. There is a high. I go to the 15-minute. The lower time frames you go, the better precision is it on the overnight range. So there's a low, the low is low and the highest high. There's a low and there's a high, and this is the overnight range, basically until 7, 8 o'clock. So there wasn't a high or a low on the 7, 8 o'clock. There was a low, the lowest low of the Asia session is this one. So this is what I use for to mark out the overnight range, basically. Yes. And this scenario is different. There's a high right here. There's a low right here. This is 8 o'clock. This is the overnight range in this scenario, basically. All right. Hope that answered your question, Adam. All right, here. Let's see here if we have any questions for today. Hi, is that one of school run trade which we would miss because the risk is large and did not pull back to 50%, not give us better entry, less risk, although it's for Friday. But as an example. All right, is that one a school run? It looks like the school run, but the time is 11. I'm not sure about your time zone, but it looks clean. Overnight range, 15-minute candle. Now it didn't drop down to the 50% mark. It's not a necessity. It's not a must that it needs to drop down to the 50% mark. It's just basically how large the candle is because it gives you a larger stop loss area. What day is this? I'm interested in this. Friday the 17th. Let's see, Friday the 17th. 8, 9. Oof, this was a beautiful trade. Yeah, this was a beautiful trade. See here, overnight range, 15-minute candle close. Now it didn't tap into the 50% mark of the fair value gap, but still, you take a position right. You may put a position right here. I remember this trade. It didn't touch my 50% mark. But yeah, if they didn't touch your 50% mark, you can go lower in risk, as you said, because the risk is large, less risk. Because you're lower in risk, exactly, feel free, try it out. The more it gets to the 50% mark, the better stop loss area you will get. That's basically it. And I've also noticed that there's an area right here, this high right here. The market usually wants to come back and touch this area and then continue to the upside. The breaker, or what do you call it? I'm not sure what we call this, but I usually call it the breaker. But yeah, this was a beautiful trade. You can just left this trade running to the upside. All right, let's jump into looking forward to the New York session tomorrow. Already upgraded. Great, smile. I just saw that. Looking forward to trading with you on Monday, tomorrow. I was analyzing the chart for April 21st during the London session. I'm trying to refine my entries. Could you please help me identify the exact break of structure for that period? All right, is it on the what time frame? Wakas. So you want to find a break of structure on the 50-minute on the 21st of April. Got it. Let me check. London session. A break of structure on the London session. Exact break of structure. Break of structure? I'm not sure I understand what you mean. So this is a break of structure. Let me do this. Line, you can see there's a low, there's a high, there's a low, there's a high, there's a low that closed underneath it. This is probably a break of structure right here, right? This is probably a break of structure right there. There's probably a break of structure right there also, if I got your question correctly. So it doesn't count the candles. Why is this a break of structure? Let me break it down. Because there's a high. If you draw it, there's a high. The highest high of these 2 points, that's what we mark out, right? Which top, which wick is higher? This one. It doesn't matter. The color of the candles does not matter. So this is the highest one, and this is the lowest one. The lowest one is this one. You can see? So after the body of this candle closes over the body of the wick, this is the definition of a break of structure. Let me show you another example. The same here. So this is not correct. The lowest low of these two is the one that we are using to define the break of structure, and it breaks structure over the body of the candle. This right here also. See that? There is a high, there's a low created, and there's a high created, and there's a low, and there's a high created right here, and the high of this wick closed over the body. The body of this candle closed over the wick of this candle, which makes it a break of structure to the upside. Please on Nasdaq. Okay, sure. Let me. All right, same principle right here. There's a there's a low and there's a high created and there's a low created, and this is the break of structure. The candles maybe confuse you. The colors of the candles maybe confuse you. It did me in the beginning, trust me. There's a high, and the body of this candle closed over the body. Oh, the body of this candle closed over the wick of this candle right here. I'm sharing my screen, yes. Are you not seeing my screen? You are sharing your screen. Yeah, I'm sharing the screen. Great. Working fine. Love it. All right, Wakar. Hope that answered your question right there. Um, do you need premium to watch recordings or live? Uh, Wakar answered the question for me. So the recordings for the live trading sessions, I will record them and I will put them inside of the classroom section right there, some place right here. I'll find a way to organize it effectively and send it out to the entire community, so you can get some value out of this also, out of the live trading sessions also. Um, yeah, that's it. Hilbrand, all right. Can you tell me what you'll be trading in Premium Group, Annabelle? I will be trading the DAX and Nasdaq, and I'll also go through the long-term investing together with the Premium Group and the live scenario. Maybe I'll take the trade together with them, show them how to take the trade. Like if I'm investing in Google or I'm investing in something else, and how I risk these these longer form trades. Yeah, probably that's how I would do it. Hi, Mustafa. I have a doubt about the midnight range and 50-minute liquidity. Um, oh, sorry. Hello, Mustafa. Quick question about the school run method. If we get a closing inside candle that contradicts our pre-market 1 hour bias confirmation candle, does that inside candle override the initial daily bias, or do we continue trading based on the original 1 hour bias? Just get a closing. Get the closing inside candle inside the overnight range, I assume you mean. Yeah. So the closing of the candle that's inside the overnight range, that's the 50-minute candle, 1 5, 15-minute candle. So the original bias on the 1 hour time, it's very hard to say because we can have a break of structure on the overnight range. Sorry, we can have a break of structure on the pre-market that's happening that indicates that we are going to the upside, let's say. Now we mark out the, let me draw it out for you. So let's say this scenario. This is the overnight range, right? It all depends. Um, how can I explain this? So let me try to do this right here. So we have an overnight range that goes like this, right? So the 1 hour time frame is indicating that we are bearish. We are going to the upside. We are going to the upside. This is what I'm looking for. So I'm usually looking for, okay, the first 50-minute candle that closes, if it's outside the range to the downside, where is the liquidity lying? Even if the it's contradicts our main bias, where does the liquidity lie? So if I'm planning to take the trade right there, is there liquidity that's going to be swept because this is how the market moves. It goes down, sweeps liquidity in this area, and then continues to the upside. So if I'm in this area taking the trade that's going to go to liquidity to sweep it to reverse to the upside, this is a trade that I want to take, if that makes sense. Because if there is liquidity resting right there, there's a 50-minute low, That's 50-minute low right here. And I know that the main 1 hour bias pre-market indicates that we are bearish, bullish, we're going to the upside, but the school run is going bearish. I will still take that trade to the liquidity areas because there it's a high probability that the market, one, is still going to the downside to take out liquidity, and two, to be able to continue to the upside, the market will take out liquidities, take out these liquidities, and then continue to the upside. Do you see? So you can, we can basically take a school run right here down to the liquidity area, and then it sweeps liquidity. And this is when we drop down to the 1 minute time frame and we take the 1 minute model to the upside. So you have two trades in one, basically. Hope that made sense, Daniel. Great question. That was a great question. Mohammed, green candle in 1 hour bias and red candle closing inside. Green candle in 1 hour bias and red candle closing inside. Yeah, if it's closing inside, I wouldn't take it. If a green candle is a 1 hour bias, green candle in 1 hour bias, okay, green candle in 1 hour bias and red candle closing is. I don't. Sure, I'm understanding you. Feel free to send a screenshot of something so I can analyze it. I have a doubt about the midnight range and 15-minute liquidity. I'm not sure if I count the Asia range, midnight to 9 or 2 to 9, as there are two different levels of liquidity. As in the photo, my time zone is UTC plus 2. Thanks in advance. All right. I can't see the times here. This picture is not telling me anything. Sorry, Mohammed. But I'm not sure if I count the Asia right. Yeah, we have the same time zone, UTC plus 2. Let me show you how I counted. So basically, the easiest way to do this, let me, you see these lines, you can see that I have UTC plus 2, right? I'm on the NQ on the US Tech right there. Let me see if I, so if I write US Tech, this is the one I have, US Tech 100. This is the one. I see a market. And I have Germany 40, just to make this the Pepperstone one. All right. This is recorded, so feel free to rewatch it. And then ICT everything draws these lines right here, these dotted lines right here, and draws the Monday market open. So this is the equilibrium basically on for the entire week that opens up on Monday. So these lines right here, you can see that these are at midnight, right? And then they jump to midnight on the DAX, they jump to 2:30, right? But it's still the way the Asia session overnight range is counted. So the way to do it is basically to go, just press on indicators right here, go to ICT everything by Cold Brew Roche. Just press on it and add it to your repertoire right here. Press on it and use these settings because we have the same UTC plus 2. Just screenshot them. I'm gonna scroll down. Screenshot them, use them, style, visibility, and there you go. And it's gonna draw the same lines. And when you come to the market at 9 o'clock, trying to trade the London session, the thing you do, just watch this line, and you mark out the low from this line and the high. Yeah, the high, and then you stop at 8 o'clock overnight pre-market London session. This is the overnight range. All right. Great question. Got it. Hello, Daniel. Hello, Mustafa. In this situation, if the body of the reversal candle is what breaks market structure, does that qualify as a valid break of structure, or is a subsequent bullish green confirmation candle required for validation? Yeah. If it's it needs to be green. What do you call it? Green or blue candle to that breaks the body of the candle. This is not. It's not like even now that I'm hesitating on answering this question, it just tells me that this is not a clear break of structure because the body of the candle is not clear. I wouldn't like if I had $1,000 to and somebody told me come invest in this break of structure, I wouldn't do it because it's unsure. So the body of the candle is needs to be clearer, needs to be um, more precise. This is a clear break of structure right there because you see that there's a high and there's a body of this candle that is green that's closed over it. So to be able to see a break of structure in this scenario, you need to have a blue or a green candle that closes in this scenario over it, over this candle right there. So this is defined as a liquidity sweep, basically. I'm not sure what time frame this is, but this is a liquidity sweep. I understand the confusion of the breakup structures because they're so special on the 1 minute. Steve, hello Mustafa. How do you rate compare using the AMD model method along with the school run method? How do you rate compare using the AMD model? I'm not sure I understand what you. How do you rate compare using the AMD? Um, the way I use AMD, am not really focused on the accumulation, manipulation, distribution part. I'm only seeing, this is the general picture of the market. AMD, accumulation, which is the Asia session, manipulation, which is the London session, and distribution, which is the New York session. Now, if there is no accumulation happening on the Asia session, the accumulation jumps to the London session. Is this always true? No, because there can still be a consolidation in the London session and in the New York session. They can continue. So I'm not using these uh, like religion, the AMD model. I need to follow it. I'm the thing I need to I'm following to the T is the structure of the checklist that I'm using based on the strategy that I'm using, based on the two models, based on the 1 minute model and the school run checklist. So if the AMD model just happens to happen, okay, great. That's the overall picture of how the market is moving. It's like market structure. When people say this is market structure, there's higher high and higher lows and lows and lower highs, right? The AMD model is the same. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So we are just taking advantage of where the accumulation is happening and where the distribution is happening, and the accumulation also, or manipulation. Sorry, the manipulation is happening. All right, Steve. Hope that answered your question. All right, that's about it, guys. I'm not having any more questions right here. I love it that you are engaged inside of the community. Pierre, I hope you saw my screen at the end. The community is growing. We have new members every day. I'm trying to I'm trying to put in some time to build some more focus. I'm doing the risk management part right now. So we've talked a lot today. I've just released a tilt video. What is tilt and how to solve it? So if you've tilted before, that's an unfortunate scenario because that's almost it's bound to happen. I got it now. Thanks. All right, great, Pierre. That's bound to happen that we are tilting sometime It may be that we're not focused, or we didn't have our second cup of coffee, or we just had a fight with our spouse and we want to take it out on the market. That usually happens. So I'm explaining this in this lesson right here about tilt, and I'm also focused on right now doing the risk management protocol strategy video. How to risk, how to manage your risk correctly, how to use buffer, and then leverage that risk to gain more profits so you can be at a plus at the end of the month. All right, guys. I wish you a great rest of your Sunday. It's almost 7 o'clock at night here in Sweden. And for you guys that are inside of the premium, I'm looking forward to trading with you tomorrow. It's going to be fun and exciting. We're going to jump on the London session and the New York session. And yeah, looking forward to it. Great, guys. Talk to you inside of the community. And if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you. Thank you, Daniel. Jatesh, thank you. Thanks a lot. All right, guys. Thank you, Juba. Take care and talk to you inside. Bye.